What's happening, guys? I want to talk to you guys today about self-control. Very important video. Let's get it.
I'm inspired. I'm inspired.
Hey there, guys. How's it going? My name is Sumed Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach, which means that I help you feel better and perform better. So I have started a new Instagram, experimental Instagram. Feel free to join it. It's Flow State Coach. Very easy to remember, right? I feel like, I am one of the people who are at the top of this niche, who's really creating this new way of looking at the world, which is a world through the eyes of flow state, right? Self-control, man, this is one that I've had to tackle for a lot of my life, and so I want to teach you a few techniques that I've learned that has helped me in this process. First of all, are we really controlling the self, or are we controlling the part of the self that doesn't have control? When we're talking about self-control, we're really controlling the part of us that is impulsive, the part of us that can't get our shit together, the part of us that is lazy, the part of us that is a loser, right? Do you want to be the prince or the toad, queen or the gremlin? It's up to you, right? And so start to look at your own life and think of some references that you have for people who have really great discipline, motivation, self-control, energy, charisma. Like, just think of maybe 8 people, right off the top of your head right now. You can name some celebrities, name some people you know in your own life, name some examples from mythologies, whatever it is, right? Just start going. And try and match that frequency to yours, right? See if there's a vast difference, if there's kind of a little bit of a difference in some people. For others, you might have certain inspirations that you draw from them. That's okay, right? Just recognize that. Now, what if one of them came to visit you in your home? What if one day you had to spend an entire day with one of them? What if you suddenly had to be invited to a very high-end, high-class party and only those people were invited? You would suddenly make an internal shift. Something would happen from within where you'd go, oh wait, I'm on camera now. And you would step it up internally. That internal shift is the key to you getting your self-control back. I'm watching this guy, Mark the Mentor, right, where he's saying that imagine when you're on your semen retention journey, right, that it's almost like a police, like hands up, step away from the vehicle, right? I really like that as an example because he is using his imagination to control his life rather than his imagination drawing him into the world of the fantasy and, allowing him to go there. So the thing is, as adults, we need to get rid of that childish shit. Okay, imagination without intention is just childlike. It's immature. But daydreaming with intention, visualizing with a goal in mind, getting things done, accomplishing things is the adult frame. So first of all, let me just tell you that, okay, maybe you're just daydreaming without any intention. Your mind is going here and there and everywhere. And maybe you're just used to that pattern. Again, we're all kind of victims of these patterns, but I don't want you to be a victim. I want you to be a victor. I don't want you to be a whiner. I want you to be a winner. Of course, these are duality words. There is a spectrum of whining to winning, right? And you've got to understand that you can surf on that boundary. Like, sometimes I'll feel like I'm complaining, but then it becomes constructive in my own internal world. My inner critic becomes my inner coach. And it ends up helping me. So it's how you choose to see this situation. Are you choosing to see them as chores or missions? Just by you simply changing the word sometimes can give you a different perspective, therefore a different result, because it's all in the thoughts. The thoughts create the emotion, which creates the action, right? So the action is the behavior that you don't like in yourself, which you're trying to control and manipulate like a puppet on a string, like you're the puppet master, like trying to control it. Oh, self-control.
I need to take power over myself.
No, you just need to take power over that part of yourself that you don't like, which is a character flaw. And so you want to correct it. You want to get better at it. You want to improve upon it, okay? It's already within you that you are this disciplined person, but you're lacking the energy in doing the things that fill you with enough life, hanging around the types of people that fill you with enough energy. Of course, your environment is going to have an impact on your state of mind, your state of being. That's why you're watching YouTube videos like this. If your life was balling and you had all these, you had YouTubers, not YouTubers is like, you know, this amorphous quality, but you have YouTube level people like actually talking to you and being around you, it'd be a very different vibe. Success is this type of mentality where it's like it's fast, okay? It's very like, it's very sharp, it's very fast, it's like boom, boom, boom. Me being a more quiet, reflective, laid back type, I've had to find the bridge between that boom, 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 boom success and like as slow as like a turtle in slow motion, okay? I've had to find that path and really meet at the middle sometimes, where I'm flowing with it rather than hustling and burning myself out and fusing very rapidly, okay? Got to know your rest in this game. That's what's important for self-control as well, is the self-soothing, the self-care, where you feel like I've taken care of myself. I don't need the outside world to take care of me. You're going to make everybody into a caretaker, right? A random woman that you're dating becomes your mother. A random person that, you know, is in the streets, you crave their love like you did in childhood. It skews everything out of proportion, right? The question really is, how would your standards change if you were to hang around A-level, elite, high-level people in their industry, in their niche? Like, you wouldn't want to go to a doctor and they're completely incompetent. You wouldn't want to hire a lawyer and they're like not a good lawyer, right? It's like they're not skilled, they have a lack of self-control. That's weird, right? You go to a doctor and he has a lack of self-control. And that's kind of creepy, right? It's like, whoa, okay, you need to control yourself. Now it comes from purity and intention, right? Got to understand that heart-mind connection together. You've got to first of all recognize how to link the cosmic with the primal, okay? That is going to give you that momentum and that fuel and that energy back. You got to know that you've been given different maps, and some of those maps don't serve you. What is your map for relationships? What is your map for making money? What is your map for sex? What is your map for, you know, intelligence and learning? If you had schooling in the schooling system, chances are your learning map is very distorted. It's like, I need to achieve and perform in order to be loved. Like, I need to be a workhorse to empower the economy. It's very skewed, it's very distorted, man. And so it's going to suck away your creativity. And, you know, a lot of it did for me. Like, I remember going to school and just feeling like, whoa, I'm not meant to be doing these things, right? I'm not meant to be measuring this parabola right now. I need to change the world, right? What's going on right here? And again, we have these kind of, you know, idealistic projections when we're children too, like these kind of vast ideas that we're going to do something incredible as well. And I think that's very, very healthy, actually, in the mind of a child, because there's infinite possibilities, and there actually is. You know, so children actually see the quantum, but we have to be able to actually come in and basically be able to bridge the gap between complete immaturity and just, you know, floating around being a leaf in the wind, to choosing to be the wind, in a sense, to being the one who's the catalyst of their own life, instead of waiting for catalyzation or waiting for things to happen to you, right? Instead of waiting to heal, it's like, why don't you start your healing journey? Instead of waiting to, you know, correct your health and someone magically coming along and like need to be rescued. That is not going to get you into self-control. Self-control is all about you being like, okay, I set the standard, I set the code, I'm going to do this way. Don't let anybody tell you how to do it, you know? I can't even tell you how to do it in a video like this. You've got to decide how it works for you, because you know your body and your mind the best way, right? So you actually know the answer of how to apply that self-control. Now it's just about doing it. And doing it, of course, you're going to feel resistance. Of course, it's going to be a bit of hesitation towards it. But that freedom that you feel as a result of that outcome is way greater than the insecurity or the hesitation that you feel in that temporary moment. Let's say you're addicted to watching Netflix, okay? Let's say that you're addicted to watching Netflix and you haven't watched Netflix in a week. You've done good. Your self-control is on point. Why aren't you giving yourself enough credit? Why aren't you celebrating that, man? You're like, whoa, dude. Now you're onto something. You're building momentum. You're building willpower, the willingness to move forward and actually push through it. Doing it especially when you don't feel like it. That's the frequency of self-control, right? Doing it especially when you don't feel like going to the gym, you go to the gym. Especially when you don't feel like talking to that girl, you talk to her. Especially when you don't feel like taking a cold shower, you do it anyway. That's the moment where you're like, that little, that annoying voice in your head that's kind of like, yeah, I don't want, I'm tired. That voice in your head, you got to have your higher self come in and be like, yo, what are you talking about? You're tired, man. Come on now. If you're tired, then sleep, baby. It's all good. You know, that voice of like, it's almost like a mentor that comes in, right? A voice of a mentor that comes in and is like, yo, everything's good, baby. Upward spiral gun. You already know what it is. Yeah. That's the energy, okay? So when you have these things that kind of split you in different directions, you feel this internal conflict, right? Which I do. I know I do at times as well, because that is, again, kind of based on my patterns. But then I am the one that understands that I have the power against that internal conflict. You know what I'm saying? So let's say you've stopped watching Netflix for a week. The craving, the urge is back. That urge is good. That urge is good. It's a withdrawal symptom. It's a craving again. It's a neediness again. But that urge is good. Why? Because the urge is a surge of energy. It's you being like, I gotta do something with this energy right now. Whoa, what is this, right? It's actually embarrassing to share, but hopefully this helps one of you guys out. So you realize that, you know, you're just leading an unconscious pattern. Like, let's say you're masturbating to porn, right? Basically, you know, what do? You use your hand in a rhythmical fashion. So if you can still move your hand in a rhythmical fashion, like patting yourself on the back, in that same rhythmical fashion, what are you doing? You're transmuting one area into another area. And you're still releasing that need to do that. Like a robot. You become like a robot. You become like a zombie according to something you're trying to quit. Some substance, some thing, some behavior, habit, right? Whatever it is. So now you watch Netflix away from Netflix. You can watch Netflix, but now watch it from a different lens. Watch it and then notice what your body does. Are you leaning forward into the screen, right? Are you going more like, are you getting distracted and opening a bunch of tabs? Like, what is happening? Become very, very aware and very conscious as you're watching Netflix. You're not watching it with the same kind of cringe anhedonia, which is like you're not showing any like emotion in a sense. You're not watching Netflix from this apathy and this like wanting to escape the world and using Netflix as a way to, you know, basically soothe you, right? You're using it as a self-soothing, a self-care mechanism, but it's not really self-care because you're like, I don't really care much about the show anyway. I'm just doing it to kill my time or whatever, right? So first of all, start to understand that. I've understood that I watch Netflix very differently. I never watch it just to watch it. I watch it for character development. Now, when you give yourself an intention like that, now you have your self-control back. Because you're like, I'm going to watch this one show to study this one character so I can get inspired from them and apply it into my own life. Boom. Now, some of you might think, oh, that's a justification for you to watch Friends or, you know what? Dude, no, it's not. I have figured out how my mind is working. So the more self-awareness and self-knowledge you have, you can apply it directly into how much you can accomplish and how many results you can get. I'm going to watch the show. It's going to be enjoyable, but I let myself enjoy it. But at the same time, it's building me. I'm learning from it. And I'm only tuning into the things that really are valuable to me and not the things which are like, kind of like, what? That's dumb, dude. Why am I even watching this, right? You don't want that. So that's the thing. You got to know your internal world very well. I hope this video helps you out today and it shifts your mindset in terms of self-control. Have an incredible day. May the flow be with you and stay legendary. Let's get it to the upward spiral, man.